too loud or too quiet, please say something. So, I'm Zach Sandler, and I'm bipolar. I also play piano on Broadway for Wicked, and I've played on Broadway for Motown and The Color Purple. I recently played piano at Carnegie Hall, and I've music directed, conducted, or played at venues including the Kennedy Center, the Public Theater, Goodspeed, and Signature Theater in DC. And I'm also a musical theater writer, which I'm going to talk about more today. But first, I'd like to start with two things that I know. The first thing I know is that there is a clear, strong link between mental health conditions and creative genius. This has been demonstrated over centuries, from Van Gogh to Beethoven. And I'm even creating a TV show now that documents this link. It's called Insanely Talented. And the idea is we have celebrity artists and up-and-coming artists with mental health conditions to perform, share their work, share their stories, and collaborate on something together. So if anyone out there knows any celebrity artists or up-and-coming artists who's willing to talk about mental health conditions, please let me know. Now you'll notice that I don't use the phrase mental illness. And I also will never say bipolar disorder. Because to me, the words illness and disorder imply that there's something wrong with you, that something needs to be fixed. And I don't believe there's anything wrong with me. So that's the first thing. The second thing I know I'd like to share with you at the end. So if I forget, please remind me. And now I'd like to share with you my experience with creativity. The first example is creativity when I'm at baseline, when I'm not in a manic or a hypomanic state. And that is the show that Lindsay mentioned, which originally was called A Bit Too Much About Me. It was performed in New York City in September at the Triad Theater. And it is a story about how I learned to love even the bipolar parts of myself, and how my journey with romance has gone from looking for one woman who would be my everything to finally realizing that no woman will do that, because I first need to love every part of myself and be my own everything. So in this show, I actually depict the two major manic episodes that I've had and have been hospitalized for, one when I was 20, one when I was 28. And I wanted to show the parts of my brain that come out during these manic episodes. I wanted to actually personify them as characters, people in my head, sort of. And the first one I wanted to bring to life was my paranoia, which would come out in the form of, don't take that pill. If you take that pill, you will fall asleep. And if you fall asleep before sunrise, you will die. And the second character was my religious visions, which came out in the form of, that kid over there is God, that woman over there is Mother Mary, and then a room full of people coming out in the middle of the night, staring at me, and many of them saying that I was Jesus. So paranoia, religious visions, and then the third is my manic spiral, which is the part of my head that drives the mania, that thinks I'm the greatest in the world, we're going to conquer the world together, and that I must be manic at times to accomplish this. And he's right here, lives up here, and his name is Charlie. And so what I'd like to do is play a song for you from the show that Charlie sings to my character. So I'm going to mosey over here, and I'll be right back. Can you hear me? All right, so Charlie sings. That's too quiet. Let's fix that. There we go. You think you're just one person, but I am also here. The people in your head are people too. The three of us are staying. We won't just disappear. The people in your head are people too. Though I am one of many, I haven't gotten any acknowledgement or love for 20 years. The thing I've been concealing's that I have lots of feelings. The people in your head are people. I can't keep it in any longer. We've been living together for all of these years, and we've only talked once or twice. You don't celebrate my joy, you don't wipe away my tears. So I'm through with playing nice. I'm literally inside you. I am built into your brain. We are intimate, that's how we were designed. But I don't wanna just be in your head. I wanna be on your mind. Ooh. And then paranoia and religious visions come out as backup singers. I am here all alone. Excuse me, nobody by my side. We're here and I'm dying to fully be expressed. Say yes to Charlie. I know I get excited and stomp and scream and beg too much, but it's better than being depressed. Wow, wow, wow. I'm glad you're very tall. I'm glad you've got good hair. I'm happy that your cheekbones are defined. But I don't wanna just be in your head. I wanna be on your mind. Picture us together, smiling head in head. Our neuronal pathways thicker than before. We will dominate and then make hypomania great again. And Charlie's name will live forevermore, evermore. If you simply accept me as part of who you are, we can finally get along. We all can get along. I'll still have my own room. I'll still have my own bed. But I won't write another song, thank goodness. I am not someone to fear. I am not someone to hide. A relationship like ours is hard to find. But I don't wanna just be in your head. I wanna be on your mind. On your mind. Ooh. On your mind. On your mind. I love you. Thank you so much. So I'm now working on a revision of the show, which is going to be called Inside My Head. And I'm hoping to expand the characters of paranoia and religious visions into their versions that exist outside of my manic episodes in regular life. And so paranoia becomes simply anxiety, which we all have from time to time. And religious visions, which I'll now call grand visions, become simply dreams, which we also all have from time to time. And we'll see how this Charlie character that I'm going to expand to include the depression side of things, because I do have a suicidal ideation that I include in the show. So how this character basically puppeteers anxiety and dreams into their exaggerated versions, paranoia and grand visions. So that is the next version of the show. What's next in my speech? So, right. The next thing is talking about creativity within a hypomanic episode. So I'm going to show you this image. This is a drawing that I did last October during a hypomanic episode. And it's based on this idea that I had been playing with for another show I'm writing called The City of Ember, based on the young adult novel. And that idea is that we all have light and darkness within us. The idea being we all have something to give, something to bring to the world. Creativity, love, kindness, compassion. That's the light. And then we also have this darkness, this need not to give, but this need to receive, which is also important. But it's this need to receive and take from the world. That's the darkness. So in this hypomanic episode, this image of a sun fused together with a moon into a half sun, half moon, which you'll see there in the drawing. I mean, maybe you can see it, I'm not sure. Came to me. And the question of which way should we lead? So the goal of life, as I wrote there, is to lead with our sun. So to be motivated and driven by the light that we have to bring into the world. And then our moons, which are still important, trail behind us and reflect the light back at people behind us, illuminating the way. And that the worst case scenario is to lead with our moons. So we're motivated and driven by this need to receive, whether it's power, status, money, love even. And the sun shooting behind us is burning everyone behind us. So this was what I came up with. And I realized once I got back to baseline that this idea was pretty much exactly the same thing as this artwork that I've had in my apartment for many years, which I bought in Israel in 2011. And it's by a Kabbalist painter. Kabbalah, of course, being the ancient mystical texts, oral history that accompanied the Torah for many years and was very secret for centuries, just coming out very recently. And here you have the Hebrew letter Hey, and the lines on top indicate the Hebrew letter Yud. The word is Hai, that's life. And so this is meant to indicate the two types of life that you can live. One, the dark letter on the white background is the goal. It's to lead with your light. It's a life where you give this light into the world. It's leading with your sun. And the bottom image is the opposite. It's leading with your moon. It's taking from the world and being motivated by that. So somehow in 20 minutes during a hypomanic episode, I had the same idea in different form that Kabbalah had been working on for thousands of years. That I think illustrates the power of hypomania. So creativity can be useful during recovery, during an episode, and even afterwards in looking back on an episode, like with my show. But I also believe that creativity is extremely useful even when things are, quote, just fine. And that is because creativity enriches our souls and brings our light into the world. And that gets me to the second thing that I know. And that is, I know that we are all creative. Every one of us. And we live in this world where I think it's this world of darkness where we assume that only a select few have the talent or the drive or the gift to bring their light into the world creatively. The movie stars, the pop musicians, etc. But I believe this is not true. It's important to consume and you can learn a lot from it, but we are all creative. And so I want to encourage, if you're already engaging in creative activities, that's really great. Keep it up. And I encourage you to open yourself to other creative activities you may not have pursued yet. If you're one of these people who believes you're not creative, and I've met a lot of people like that, I challenge you to open yourself to the many possibilities for creative expression. Whether it's writing, journaling, playing an instrument, singing, even cooking, baking, gardening, pottery, painting, the list goes on. And also not just to explore to see what resonates, but to actually commit a small amount of time, even if it's just 30 minutes a week, to actually engaging in that activity. Because I believe that by accessing this creativity and bringing our light to the world, we don't have to lead with our moons. We can lead with our suns. And together we can create a world full of light. Thank you.